Come on through, Cookie. I want to put my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie? Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. Let's talk about this shit here. Season 6, Love and Hip Hop, ATL, episode 15. Stevie J is outside because, we had the big blow up last we were here with Jocelyn and Savannah. Well, he had Savannah and Sade outside. He got them. They were outside the restaurant. Basically told them, no ma'am, to the whole get married to Jocelyn thing, and that she was really out of order, and they were kind of cool with it. And they kind of left off. We didn't see Jocelyn at all. He was a little bit pissed with Jocelyn that it actually kind of went that way, but that was a hard call. That was a mess. Next, we had Tommy and Tammy getting together. Tammy was telling Tommy all about the things that went on with the trip, and told her that Dime had actually beat up Treasure. So now the two of them both have beat up Treasure. Through some talking, Tommy was like, I really never really had a problem with her. Tammy was like, well, I cleared everything up with her. And Tommy was like, well, I'm open to trying to reconcile with her. No problem. I'll do that. Then they also talked about some of the problems that Tommy's having with her mother and trying to clear up the bad blood between her and her mom. So I said, okay. So they said later on they would actually meet up, which they actually did. And enters Rashida as well. Rashida said, Dime had my back when we were in Jamaica, so I'm going to have her back, and I'm going to mediate. So they actually, Rashida pulled a favor and got a boardroom with one of her friends so they could all sit down and have the conversation and get everything squashed. Everything was going real well at first, and then Dime just went the fuck left. I'm like, really, Dime? Her and Tommy, they were going back and forth talking, and then Tommy was just saying, she said, I have so much stuff going. And it was real. When I say it was going well, it was going really well. And she said, I have a lot of stuff that's going on with in my personal life. And, and it just makes me be on edge. And when anybody says anything that I don't like, that it's kind of like anybody can get this work, And that's all she said. And Dime was like, oh, no, I can't get that work. What? No, you're not talking to me like that, bitch. You're not going to talk to me. And I'm like, damn, what just happened? I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I was like, wait a minute. It was so, I said, this is weird. Like, this was stupid. Like, were they sitting there and was it just going too kumbaya too early? And Mother said, bitch. And threw the red towel and I said, no, bitch, just fight. Because that's how it looked, like, fight. Finish her, Eddie. I was like, it was crazy. And that whole scene really got on my nerves. And you can see Tammy and Rashida both was like, well, wait a minute, how did we get here? And they both were like, and Rashida was explaining it down. I was like, I know what she mean. I'm from the hood, baby. I'm from the gutter. Shit, I know what she mean. And that bitch ain't gonna give me no work. I'll drag that bitch. I'll pull blood. I was like, oh, God. Damn got on my nerves. She got on my nerves the way she used to get on my nerves. I was like, oh, damn, that was just not a good look at all. I was hating that. That whole scene got on my nerves. Anyway, moving back. Blood test day has come. Logan has gotten a blood test. Cannon has gotten a blood test. So they're checking them out. Kirk went to see a lawyer. He got his blood test coming up. The whole family, this got on my nerves. Whole family went out on a shopping trip. Not shopping, Lord have mercy, I'm sorry. A camping trip where they bamboozled Rashida again, and Kirk is there. And they sit down because Kirk, when he was at the lawyer, he basically said he would sign everything over to Rashida. If she wanted to divorce him, he'll sign everything over because he don't want anybody to be able to come after her for anything if the baby's his. This is getting too stupid right now because right now we're sitting here. You're having an issue where there's this baby and you think you may be a father of a baby, so you want to quickly sign over all of your assets to your wife, and you're saying this on TV. You know what I have to say to this whole thing? Now I'm getting like Rocks now. Yeah, for its Rocks, if y'all don't know who Rocks is, type it in. I don't know how you don't. You must have been living under a rock, but it's four, the number four, it's Rocks. Go look Rocks up. Rocks does reviews on this show as well. And she always calls it frost facts and all that, and she carries on. She can't stand it. She can't stand all the shit with Rashida and Kirk. She says that it's a lie. And I kind of try to entertain the shit with them, but this is all just some bullshit, and it's hard to even entertain because now, for real, Mona, you just talking to us like we stupid. You putting on, honey, you don't just dip dab assets around like that with no lawyer and in the midst of no court. Quit your fucking playing. Anyway, I ain't even talking about that shit no more. Shit they got on my nerves. And him and Shirlene gotten into it. Because again, she all up in the middle of it. Shirlene do need to mind her business though. And I really hated it that they showed Kai, which is Rashida's son. This is the beginning of the foolishness because right there, Kai's on camera and he's older now. He's like 16 years old and he has a whole piece of drama going on. And I see why. I mean, he's been shown. You showed him on the show. So now it is what it is. You know, poor thing. He's going to be all tied up in some bullshit. They should have never introduced their child into this mess. Anyway, I'm leaving that alone. Moving on. And y'all hear more about it later. I'm just not getting ready to go into it. Moving on. There was this sit down with Mona, which is Tammy's mom, Karen King, Deb Atney, Mama D, and Tommy's mom, Samantha. All the mothers got together to try to get Samantha some skills together so she can help with the mending of her and Tommy back together. And they talked, heart to heart. It was a nice talk. And shit, Mama D, I was like, damn, Mama D broke down listening to the shit that Samantha's actually been through. She's like, I couldn't even imagine going through that kind of shit with none of my kids. You know what I mean? She's like, it's just crazy. She's like, I just couldn't even imagine. But they got her together, got her to where they're going to be able to have a sit down and try to figure some of this shit out. And actually, that's going to happen on the next show. So that's where we're going to go ahead and pick up. We're going to leave out because that's basically where they left out here. And we'll pick back up. It's going to be very interesting to see everybody sit down and Tommy and her mother try to squash it all out. Because Tammy was really instrumental in talking to Tommy and telling her, she understood and how much they really did have in common, and how their mothers were both addicts and this, that, thing, and the other. Very, very interesting. And I think this is going to be interesting to see play out next week. Less the bullshit, but interesting just to see the human part of it. So, anyway, that's it. I will talk to you guys next week. Peace.